Hi, I'm Dr. Amanda Nealon from Oceania Scientific Services, and welcome to an introduction to data analysis in R. This is clip 2 of 6. In today's session, we're going to install R and get started with your first script. Let's begin. First, you're going to visit the internet, go to Google and type in CRAN-R. This is where you can download R for free from the original developers. Pick the operating system you'll be using. So you can choose Windows. In my case, I'm Windows. However, other operating systems are available. Click on one of the links. It will then take you to the next page. You will install RBase and install for the first time. Click there. You're going to install the latest version of R. A new version could be out by the time you see this clip. If so, that's fine. Just install the latest version and it will begin downloading. Now, while that's occurring, we can go back to Google and search our next term, which is RStudio. We're going to download RStudio, the free version. This is the platform that lets us run R. There we go. So download the free one. Click on, again, the operating system you're using. I'm using a Windows computer, so I'll click here and RStudio begins downloading. Now, it's important you begin by installing the CRAN-R first and RStudio second. The CRAN, the R itself, is what actually thinks and runs. RStudio is just a interface in which you'll interact with R. Once they've both downloaded, click install and then you'll be ready to open RStudio. You can type it into your search bar on your computer and look for the program file. You may want to create a shortcut to it. When you first open R, you'll see 3 screens. First being the R console itself. You'll then have this environment section and then you'll have plots. What I'll get you to do now is go up to the top corner, click on the green little circle with a white cross and you'll get your new blank R script. This is like a notepad. This is where you'll write all the R scripts so you can save them. When you write a line of code, you can press Control Enter and send it down to your console. The console is the part that will perform the required task. The environments will save it and then hopefully you'll see either some plots appearing if you've made a plot, or we might be able to see our file paths, or we can seek help in this final screen. So we have a code editor, a workspace, our console, and plots and help. You can change the ratio of these 4 squares, but make sure you do see all 4 and make sure you are using the code editor. Now you'll notice in this series that my R looks a little different to yours. You can also update the color theme just through these settings, and you can make it a little bit easier to read late at night. Let's have a look at the 2 shortcut keys and then I'll open R and we'll write our first scripts. When we write a line of code in the text editor part, we will send it down to the console by pressing Control and Enter at the same time. Alternatively, if you'd like to run all of your script, you could press Control, Alt, Run. I'll say these again later, but just have a look at your keyboard now and see if you can find those 2 keys. Okay, let's go to R. I'm going to open R up. I already have a shortcut key for it. It's now loading. Okay. And I'm going to click on a new R script. Good, untitled. So I have 4 spaces I can work in, and this is where my R script will be written. Okay, I've typed the letter A and I've assigned it the value of 2. At the end of my line, I pressed Control and Enter, and I sent it down into my console. At the same time, it appeared in my environments. A has a value of 2. Okay. R is a dynamically typed language. If I now assign A the value of 3, Control Enter, I sent it into my console, you'll now see the value 2 has been replaced by a 3. There we go. So this matters if you use the same name on multiple values. So always keep track of what you're calling your different parameters. Cap lock matters. If I call A, little letter A 3, but cap lock A 5, they're actually 2 completely different variables now. So watch your cap locks when you're spelling out your names because it matters. In addition, watch your spelling. Let's have a go at doing some basic algebra. If we have cap lock A is 5, little letter B is 3, we can now simply type in cap lock A plus little letter b, and we get an output in the console of 8. That's good, but it's only going to be remembered in this one instance when I run line 7. That's not ideal for me. What I'd rather do is type C and assign it the equation of cap lock A plus little b equals C. In the future now, whenever I type the letter C, I will get 8. See? There we go. To remove a name, I can press RM, open brackets, and I can type the variable name in. So C in this case. Now C no longer exists. I can also just click the broom and clear all of these variables, which I've already run. Am I sure? Yes. The order you run your script in matters. If I'm starting a new session and I run line 7, Control Enter, I will get an error. Object cap lock A is not found. And that's because I haven't run line 4 yet. So each time you start R, make sure you run each line in order. So starting at line 2, I can press Control Enter. I might delete line 3, don't need that. Cap lock A, and now I can run my equation and I get the number 8. To write notes, press hash. This allows me to write some code to myself to say what a variable is. So number of pens might be a little note I have to myself to know that A might actually be pens. There we go. And now I have pens as 2 and it's the number of pens on my desk with a note. You can see how by assigning useful names, it actually makes your script easier to read and easier later to use when you come back, especially after a break. We can also use a function called catenate to make a string of values. For example, if I have a string of values, which is length, I can use C, open brackets, close brackets, and now I'll insert all of my values in here. I might have a length of 2 centimeters, 5, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 6 centimeters. To remember the units, hash, I can write them in. Good. And I can also do an equation on this entire vector. So I could type length, copy, paste, multiplied by maybe cap lock A in this case. There we go. And now you can see each number in my string has been multiplied by 5. 2 times 5, 5 times 5. Again, by not assigning it a variable name, it will only exist in this one instance in the console. So let's call it a name. New underscore length. Okay, and now it's saved. Take your time now to explore how R works. Have a go at making your own names. Have a go at removing variables and clearing the variables you've run. Take note of when you use cap lock and take note of how you assign variables. Remembering you actually can do a equals 5. However, we prefer not to use this kind of notation as it does interfere with our mathematics and our mathematical reasoning later. I'll press clear. Okay, thank you for listening to this session. All course materials are available online at Oceania Scientific Services. Have a great day.